In this video, I'll be doing a detailed solution to the maths question you see on the screen here. It's from the Cambridge A-Level exams from 2024, paper 2.2 or paper 2.3. They're actually the same paper. If you're looking for a different question from one of those papers, check out my description below. It should have a link to a playlist there. I'll be doing all this on a whiteboard, hopefully just like you're used to your teacher doing. But remember, we are on YouTube, so take advantage, pause, rewind, or even watch at a different speed. If you do like this video or any of my videos, I would greatly appreciate subscribe, a like, a share, or even a super thanks. In question 1, we're asked to solve this inequality here. A very common first question to be asked. It's a little more difficult because we have two inequalities here. There's a couple of ways we can do these questions. I'm going to show you in detail two different ways. So I'll end up solving this question twice. And then, I think I'll outline a third way, which is a little more messy and complicated, but it's probably worth showing you. Now the first way, the second way I'll tell you first is I'm going to square both sides. That's the one I think most students remember. I personally think it's a little easier and it's a little better for understanding the question if the method I'm going to show you is drawing it and doing some maths with what we find there. So I'm going to roughly draw this question. So first of all, let's go over what a absolute value here is. And what an absolute value does is if it has a positive number, it leaves it alone. And if it has a negative number, it turns it positive. And that's very easy to draw when given straight lines here. So a very rough drawing of this would be 5x plus 7. That's a line. It crosses the y-axis at the y-intercept at 7, and it has a steep slope. It goes up quite steeply like this. When it hits 0, when it goes below 0, remember what the absolute value is going to do. It's going to make it positive. So it's going to bounce off it. It's going to look like this. This other side here, it would have a y-intercept of -3, let's say here, and it would have a slope of 2, much less steep than this, so much shallower than this. So it would say like this. It would look like this, except when it's below 0, it's going to bounce off it, and it's going to go up like this. Okay, very rough drawing. I don't know if these meet on the left side or the right side. I don't care. I just want this rough drawing. Because now if we read this question again, it says that this is bigger than this. So that's this phi has to be bigger than this phi. Where is that true? Well, it's true everywhere to the left of this point. So whatever that number is, everything below that, this is true. It's also true everywhere above this point, because these will never meet. This is shallow and that's steep. So instead of doing any squares or worrying about even the inequalities, all you really have to do is find this point, and the answer will be, let's write it here, it'll be x less than this point. And if you find this point, it'll be x is bigger than this point. So that's what I'm going to do here. How do I find, let's say, this point first? So this line here is the minus part of this. Remember, this is the positive, that's the minus. So this line here is just minus 2x minus -3 plus 3. This line here is the positive of this one. So where do they meet each other? When they're equal 5x plus 7. If this is very different than what you were expecting, remember I will do it a different way. I'll use the squares in a few moments. This though I think is the easiest, best way to do it, well, in my opinion. Okay, solve this. Let's bring everyone onto the right to make it positive. We'll get 7x here. All the numbers to the left, we'll get -4. We'll get x is equal -4 over 7. So that's this point here, -4 over 7. So I know x is going to be bigger than -4 over 7. I know it's bigger than, just from looking at the picture. That's above that. To solve these two intercepts, let's see, we want the minus side of this one and the minus side of this one. So we'll just get -5x minus 7 is equal to minus 2x minus 3. Solve for this. Let's get everyone over to right again to keep it positive. It will be 3x on this side. Everyone over the left, minus 10. We will get x is equal minus 10 over 3. That's minus 10 over 3 here, because I know it's less than there just from looking at the image. And that's the full answer to the question. Hopefully you see there's not much maths here. I think I spent the most of my time just explaining things. If you know how to do it this way, it's the shortest way, I think. Okay, let me clear off this bit here, although we'll cheat and leave our answers in here. I'll clear off the right side, and we'll do this with squaring both sides. Now, I did say this method was probably what I think is the easiest way. I will say squaring both sides is probably the easiest way for students to remember. It's hard to remember what to do here. You have to really understand everything. This side, it's quite easy for a student to remember square both sides. They often mess up in doing the rest of the question, but they do remember how to start it quite well. An absolute value, whether it's a plus or a minus, if you square it, it'll be the same thing. So that's what squaring comes from. If we square the left side, we get 5x plus 7 squared. The right side, 2x minus 3 squared. And if that's bigger than this, squaring it shouldn't change it, because this is always positive, because the absolute value. This is always positive. So we've no worries about negatives. If this is bigger than that, it will stay bigger than it. So we can leave greater than here. Square out both sides. Let's just do it quickly. 25x squared plus 35 and another 35, that'll be 70x plus 49 will be greater than 4x squared. That'll be minus 6 and another minus 6, so minus 12x plus 9. If we clean this up, we hopefully find a quadratic. Everything over the left side. We'll get 25 minus 4, that's 21x squares. 70 minus 12 is plus 82x. And then 49 minus 9 is 40, greater than 0. This is a quadratic. It does factorize, okay, but if you want to use the minus b formula or complete the square, perfectly okay to do that. I'm going to cheat a little in that I'm going to factorize it, but instead of spending lots of time, I'm going to realize I know the answer. I know the answer has a 3 on the bottom and a 7 on the bottom, which means it'll be 7x times 3x must get here. I'll also then know that the answer is 10 over 3, so it must be a 10 here, and the answer is 4 over 7, so there must be a 4 here. I'll double check though. 4 times 10 is 40, that's good. 4 3s are 12, 10 7s are 70, 70 plus 12 does make 82. This does work if they're all plus, but like I said, it might have taken me an extra minute to think of those possibilities if I hadn't done it already. Sorry, we have to stop here for a moment because it's not equals. We can't just get the answer here equals minus 4 over 7. Although we can. I guess I'm going to do this question 2 different ways again. First of all, I will do it the maths way. Then I have enough room here. I think I'll have enough room to draw a quick picture down the corner. So the maths way tells me these two numbers, that's this bracket and this bracket, multiply to get a positive. That must mean it must be a plus and a plus, or it must be a minus and a minus. So let's split the world into another. God, I'm splitting the world lots of times here. We'll do the plus plus world. That means this guy's bigger than 0 and this guy's bigger than 0. So that's 7x plus 4 must be bigger than 0, and 3x plus 10 must be bigger than 0. I'll solve this quickly since I don't have that much room. This would mean x is bigger than minus 4 over 7 and x is bigger than minus 10 over 3. Now let's draw a quick number line here. Minus 4 over 7 says here, that's about half, and that's about 3, so somewhere all the way over here. If you're bigger than this one and you're bigger than this one, well then you might as well just say I'm bigger than this one. Is that clear? Like to be bigger than this and bigger than this. So if I said I'm older than 10 and I'm older than 20, it's a bit of a waste of time to say I'm older than 10. I'm just older than 20. Unfortunately, I can also say I'm older than 40. So in this case, I'm bigger than minus a half and I'm bigger than minus 3. Well, might as well just pick the bigger number and say, okay, you're bigger than minus 4 over 7. And that was part of the answer we knew. That was one part of the answer, bigger than minus 4 over 7. So we'd highlight that one there. What if they're both minus and a minus? That would mean 7x plus 4 is less than 0 and, very important, the and. That means both of them have to be true. 3x plus 10 is less than 0. That would mean that x is less than minus 4 over 7 and x is less than minus 10 over 3. For both of them to be true, to be less than this and less than this, well, that's like only less than this one. And that is less than there. Which again was the answer we got, this one here. We got this one and this one. That was the answer. So that's another way to do it. A slightly different way from this point here. If we have a quadratic, a positive quadratic, this number is a positive, looks like this. If you just solve this, pretend this was equals, just solve this, you would get this number and this number. This number, and sorry, what was that? Minus 4 over 7 and minus 10 over 3. Well, when is this bigger than 0? Well, it's when it's bigger than this one and less than that one. So you didn't have to do this way. Okay, it's a very long way to answer question 1, which any one of those ways would answer it. It's not really that long of a question. It's just there's many different ways to do it. Oh, a third way to do it. You can stop watching now if you're not interested. But a third way to do it would be to ask yourself, is this positive or negative? And if it's positive, continue on thinking it's positive. And same with this, same with negative. That gets you 4 different possibilities. This is bigger than this if this is positive and this is positive. This is bigger than this if this is positive and this is negative. And so on and so on. You'll get lots of little bits of maths out. You'll find out lots. I did it quickly just to see how neatly it looks. I think you'll end up finding out that the answer is bigger than there. Then you'll find out the answers between here and here. Adding those two together, you'll just get this answer. And then you'll also find out the answer is less than there. Doing the question 4 times. It's like doing this here 4 different times. Probably a waste of time doing that way. Anyway, I hope that helped. I feel I may have rambled a bit, so apologies. If you have any follow-on questions, I'll do my best to answer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.